Good morning. Detroit, get ready. More than 3,000 journalists and movers and shakers from all walks of life are about to converge on the Motor City for the annual National Association of Black Journalists Convention. How they experience and report on Detroit can make a world of difference. Our guest today to talk about it, Vicki Thomas of WWJ News Radio 950, Rochelle Riley of the Detroit Free Press, Sheila Neal of the Detroit Metro Visitors and Convention Bureau, Bria Brown of C&G Newspapers, and Jamila Jackson of the City of Detroit. It's Sunday, July the 22nd. I'm Chuck Stokes, and this is Spotlight. And welcome to Spotlight. NABJ is coming to the Motor City. Here to kick off the conversation about that, Vicki Thomas, Rochelle Riley, and Sheila Neal. Welcome to Spotlight.
Thank you, Chuck, for having us.
All right, the last time NABJ convention, National Convention, was here was in 1992. I do remember it, so that's dating myself. Detroit and NABJ has changed a lot since then.
26 years, yes. And I was actually Vice President of Broadcast for the local chapter when we hosted it in 1992. The late, great Angelo Henderson was the president of the chapter. We knocked it out of the park then, and I know that we're going to knock it out of the park this time around. We have a great leadership team. Vince McCraw from the Detroit News is our chapter president.
Right. He was supposed to actually be here this morning, but he had a death in the family.
Right,
so
and our thoughts and prayers
to him.
Yeah, with him.
Absolutely, but he's been very involved with the
very
organization
involved,
and the
very
planning of
involved.
it all. All right, Rochelle Riley, and I'm going to get all your perspectives from this, but just to kind of get you in this conversation, why is this significant for NABJ and for Detroit?
Well, I consider it this whole guess who's coming to dinner moment. We want people who don't really understand just how many and how talented black journalists there are around the country to see all of these folks come in and go, oh, wow.
And when we say all these folks, we're talking numbers
almost 3,000
Right.
journalists and newsmakers coming to our great city August 1st through 5th.
And smack dab in the middle of downtown.
Smack dab in the middle of we're going to be
taking up
based at
3
the
hotels.
Yes.
3 hotels.
Actually, more than that now.
Now?
We've got overflow
Exactly.
everywhere.
Okay.
But here's the thing: people will get to see them, but all of these journalists, some of whom have not been here since '92, will get to see Detroit. Right. And I can tell you right now that folks are going to be blown away.
And the message that goes out, it'll be various messages, but just the fact that they will be sending out messages about Detroit and its revitalization and the good, the bad, everything, whatever they see, they write, is going to be significant from a marketing standpoint, right, Sheila? No?
Absolutely. We are so excited. Journalists will see all sides of it, but the nice thing is they'll see it firsthand, up close and personal. So they'll see the downtown, they'll see the region, they'll see the airport, and now they can see what we've been talking about in our marketing campaigns. So we spend money sending it out, but they're coming in to see it firsthand, to taste the restaurants, the hotels. They are actually going to talk about what the new Detroit looks like, and when they see it, they're going to definitely say go time, which is what we're saying.
And I'm interested to see people's reaction. As you know, in 1992, I don't remember even leaving the hotel. Right. Now we have so much, like right outside the hotel. We'll have morning workouts. We're going to have a 5K along the riverfront. So we're going to get people out to see the city. We have a passport program.
That's the big thing.
That is huge. Rochelle can talk about that.
A passport contest where you're going to get your passport and you get to go and visit 10 places. And if you make it to all 10 of those places, you'll be entered into a drawing for $1,000.
Talk about some of the headliners that are coming here.
Wow, we have Spike Lee, and I'm really excited about that because Spike Lee was here in 1992 for the convention along with then presidential candidate Bill Clinton. Right. And this year he's coming back to screen another movie for us, The Black Klansman. We do have a film festival along with the convention, and we do that every year. And I think we're doing it at the DIA, the theater at the DIA. So that'll be exciting. We have Reverend Jesse Jackson will be getting an award from our president at our Salute to Excellence Awards. And we're really excited about that. I've been on the national board for 5 years, and I've been able to recommend some of the outstanding journalists and educators here in Detroit. Alicia Nails from Wayne State University will be honored as our Educator of the Year.
Journalism professor
yes,
there. Yeah, absolutely.
yes.
I'm not going to make you toot your own horn. I'm going to let Rochelle do it. If it were not for what Vicki Thomas has been doing for years and years, pushing Detroit, selling Detroit, Rochelle, is it safe to say this convention would not be coming here?
You can say that out loud and all day. If it were not for Vicki Thomas, there would never have been another convention in Detroit. She has been working on this, I would say since 1992, but that's an exaggeration. But she has been working on it for at least a decade.
She's really trying to make you old.
I'm just saying. Well, look, once she said she remembered it.
Right.
But you were a baby then, right?
But you know, but it speaks to how great Detroit is that on this national board of this national organization that was founded in 1975 by 44 journalists who wanted to make sure that we had more minority representation in coverage of our communities across the country, that we've got a representative on the national board. That makes a big difference. And when it's time for them to do things and to talk about the types of things we need to do, Detroit is always in there because Vicki's there. So
right.
She's our secret weapon.
I'm going to take a little break. And Sheila, when we come back, I want you to talk about the significance of this convention, what it means in terms of getting other conventions to the Motor City. We'll be right back. Don't go away. Sheila, I teased talking about the importance of this convention coming. What does this mean for getting other conventions?
This is going to be amazing. We always talk about what's going on in Detroit, but when you have journalists saying it, then they're tooting our horns, and it's a confirmation.
They're doing your work for you, so to speak.
And we love that. So we've got some great other conventions coming, and it's even going to help them. National Black MBA is coming this year. We have NAACP coming this year. So having the journalists tell the story is going to be amazing for the conventions that are coming and the ones that we're bidding for.
What does this mean in terms of dollars and cents and restaurants and all the other things that conventioners are concerned with?
Well, a lot of times people don't understand the impact, but with journalists coming in and writing about it, this particular convention is going to bring well over $3 million in direct spending. That
$3 million?
$3 million. So you talk about the hotels, you talk about the restaurants, and you talk about the servers that are coming from all around.
That's a lot of food and liquor.
That is a lot, but you know what? That's what makes
more
a
than
good
usual.
convention. That's what makes a good
You
convention,
say it's more than
especially
usual with
with
journalists.
Especially
Yeah.
with journalists. So the impact we can never measure completely, but I tell you one thing, having social media and having journalists writing about it, it's going to impact the region, the world. So we're excited about it.
For the person who's registered will be at the convention, what will they get out of this?
Well, let me just say, our theme is about restoring trust, technology, making sure that people are moving ahead, and we're doing that with various folks. We've got Tyler Perry doing a branding seminar. We've got political seminars for Stacey Abrams, the Georgia gubernatorial candidate who has surprised the world, is going to be there. We have an author showcase for all of these journalists who, you know, are trying to figure out whether newspapers are going to last and are buying books. My book is going to be there. I have a wonderful person.
And talk a little bit about your book.
I'm so excited. Thank you for asking, Chuck.
You're glad I asked,
I'm
right?
glad you asked. My book, The Burden, African Americans and the Enduring Impact of Slavery, has been doing very well. The audio book is coming out in October, and Randall Pinkston is going to interview me about that. But that's one of those things that we want journalists to see, and NABJ supports that. They support digital work. You know, Roland Martin is doing digital news now as opposed to television. It's every opportunity to learn everything you need to get ahead. And then we also pray together, because we got a gospel brunch where Vicki Winans is going to turn it out. So every possible way that we can touch people and nurture people while we also train people, that's what we do.
In our career fair, the largest contingent of NABJ members is millennials, so they make up the largest contingent.
We're going to be talking to some of them in a little bit.
Yes, and they come in droves just to attend the career fair. Recent graduates, some of them get hired on the spot. This is the largest career fair for journalists in the world.
All of us, you know, we got a little age on us, but all of us can remember going to an NABJ convention when we were much younger, passing our resume around, passing our tapes around, and trying to figure out how do we get to that next level, right? How do we figure out how to make more money? All of those things, and you're in a room full of people, interested in what you're doing and trying to help you get to that next level.
And that's the beauty, Chuck, of NABJ. That's why my whole career I've been a member of NABJ. I've been involved in the local chapter, president of the local chapter, moved on up to regional director, because the organization really makes a difference. If you're serious about getting a job in this business, you've just got to join NABJ. It will just, you know, take the load off, if you will. You will get so much further along with the training and development, the networking, and then being put in front of these employers. There are so many different internships throughout the year, fellowships that we push. I mean, it's just a wonderful organization. One of the things I also wanted to mention is that the Detroit chapter, we have a number of events that are open to the public. We'll have a town hall.
That's important, that this is not just for journalists.
We want our community to be involved. We have a local program book for businesses, churches. If you want to get your message out, doesn't cost as much as it costs for being in the national program book. Our town hall is being sponsored by Illich Holdings.
And the town hall is coming up when?
On the eve of the convention, Tuesday, July 31st.
All right,
and it's all
so
about
still
diversity
time to register,
and the
still time to get involved with it. And that will be where? That
will be at City Theater, Hockeytown Cafe, same building. And we'll move right across the freeway to Little Caesars Arena for our Detroit chapter fundraiser. Those tickets are $20, open to the public. Again, help us pay some of the bills and sponsoring and hosting the convention. So we want people to attend that. We have more information on our website at DetroitNABJ.org. We also have a Kim concert, so you know I had to throw Kim in there. I love Kim.
It's going to be at Shane Park.
Shane Park, yes, and that will be the Friday night of the convention.
All right, a whole lot
going
on. And you got to mention that Donnie Simpson.
Donnie, the love bug Simpson is coming home.
back for Detroit.
Also, Sean Robinson will be emceeing our Detroit chapter fundraiser at Little Caesars Arena, so she's coming home. So it'll be a reunion.
And one more little thing, Zena Garrison is going to be the celebrity host for our Detroit NABJ tennis tournament on Belle Isle. It's going to be 30 years since she won Olympic gold at Seoul and 28 years since she was the first black woman since Althea Gibson to make the Wimbledon final. So she's coming out to pass out the trophies.
So Go Time Detroit is our newest logo that we've been using.
You rolled that out a couple months ago.
Absolutely. It was America's Great Comeback City. Now it's Go Time. So the next phase that we're looking at is international. So what's amazing right now is a lot of international scenes are coming into Detroit. So while we were doing the region, we were doing pockets, DC is always in Detroit. Now we're looking at an international flair to come in. So that's the strategic approach that we're sitting down and talking about right now. How can we let the whole world see what's going on in Detroit? And I have to tell you, there's a lot of interest in it, a lot of interest.
All right, we're going to take a little break. I want to come back. I want to ask you guys one key question, and then we're going to get to the millennials in just a bit.
Attenders.
Right.
We will be right back. Don't go away. And welcome back to Spotlight. Pulling off a convention of this magnitude cannot be done without strong corporate support, sponsorships on all different types of level. How important has that been?
It's huge. I mean, we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing here in Detroit, and we're setting the bar high with this convention. I would like to thank the mayor, Mayor Duggan, too. The city's been very supportive. Aaron Foley in the mayor's office, Alexis Wiley, obviously a former NABJ member when she was a journalist.
She was a working journalist.
Right,
yeah, she's still working, just not as a
but
journalist.
Our corporate, like Fiat Chrysler.
She's trying to keep all of us in line.
Exactly, exactly. Fiat Chrysler, they're sponsoring our 5K, which we have not had for the last couple of years because we did not have the financial backing. We didn't have the sponsorship, so Fiat Chrysler stepped up to do that. We also have Ally Financial, General Motors, all these folks. Comcast Business is sponsoring my reception along with Eric Means, who is a local developer. He's sponsoring that. That will feature our own Hubert Massey. This man is just so
wonderful
talented,
artist,
and he's working on a huge fresco, which I was actually one of the models for this work that he's doing that's all about Detroit being an innovation city.
You have an opening reception that's going to be at Cobo, the newly expanded Cobo, right?
Thank you.
It's the Region 2 Director's Reception featuring Hubert Massey, so I'm excited about that.
We also can't say enough about Quicken Loans, because Quicken and Bedrock and Rock Ventures have been amazing in all of the different things that they're doing, including a day of entrepreneurial service. Usually we'll take Saturday and go out and build a Habitat for Humanity house or do something, but Dan Gilbert said, no, let's work with small businesses and nonprofits to improve how they do business. So we're doing a whole thing at Wayne County Community College where we're going to teach them how to build relationships with the media, how to increase their social media presence, how to do all types of things.
Mock interviews, writing press releases.
And they're also doing a great women's leadership thing, and they're also hosting a conversation with Dan Gilbert where Jamel Hill and I will ask him about everything from LeBron James to buying 100 buildings in his city and trying to transform an American city.
Very good. Sheila, this program will be seen on the internet all over the country, perhaps even all over the world, with all these journalists tweeting it around. For someone that's watching this and saying, okay, I'm coming to Detroit, maybe I've never been to Detroit before, but I'm registered for that convention, but it's the sidebar things I want to learn about Detroit. What should they probably see, and what are the most popular things for people coming here to do?
Well, first and foremost, we want them to go to our website, www.visitdetroit.com. And then when they go to that website, they're going to learn about a lot of things that are happening. So they're coming in airport that has won J.D. Powers Awards because it's amazing. On time, Delta has been a major partner in making sure our airline gets everyone here. Then coming in downtown. In the region and downtown area, you've got the second largest museum of African American history, must do. You've got great restaurants downtown, a definite.
A lot of new restaurants,
a lot of
too.
new restaurants.
Yeah. And go to the old ones too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You've got Campus Martius where you have a dry beach. Who goes to an urban city and has a dry beach in downtown Detroit? And you can sit and have a martini if you want to.
It's a popular spot,
It's a very popular spot.
And we have an island downtown.
How
many cities have an island downtown?
So there's a lot of firsts and a lot of unique things that you can't get. You've got the Motown Museum. That
International
is
border.
Canada, you can go out for lunch and literally go out of the country. So there's a lot of things to do in downtown Detroit and the region that make us such a unique mecca. So no matter where you're coming from and who you're bringing or what your background is, we have something for you.
In the space where we are now, I actually tremble at the idea of some of those folks, some of whom are my friends, sitting in that room saying we need to create this, and then seeing what came from that little room of 44 people and the difference they have made over the years in recruiting journalists, in making sure that journalists grow and become leaders. You know, thanks to them, we have Chuck Stokes and we have black editors leading newspapers. And I think that it's truly amazing, not just that it happened, but that it continues and continues to grow. It's one of those stories that is a positive story about how journalists are not the enemy, but journalists are a part of the democratic function of this society, and black people are a part of that mission.
And our founders will be front and center at the remaining founders. They have a founders reception, so people will get to interact with the folks that started this organization.
Very good. All right, Vicki Thomas, appreciate all your hard work getting this convention to Detroit. Rochelle Riley and Sheila Neal, thank you for joining us. And coming up, we will talk to two millennials, young people, about their experience and anticipation of this NABJ convention. We'll be right back. Stay with us. And we're back on Spotlight talking about the NABJ convention coming to Detroit. And joining me is Bria Brown and Jamila Jackson. Welcome to Spotlight.
Thank you for having me.
We were teasing, we were saying, hey, the millennials are coming. And Vicki Thomas is right. That's going to be the largest part of the convention. Talk a little bit about yourselves. You're in the newspaper business.
Yes.
You graduated from
Oakland University.
Oakland University. You graduated from Wayne State University, both of you in just 2015. Yes. So you haven't been out of school that long, but you're working. You work for the city of Detroit. All right. This is your first convention?
This is my first convention, so I'm really excited about it, and I have a hand in planning it. I'm on the local chapter board. I'm the vice president of print, so I get the best of both worlds. I get to go to the convention, and I get to also see all of our hard work put into place.
All right, and you work for C&G Newspapers,
Yes,
which
I
is
do.
based in Warren,
Yep.
over in Macomb County. Are you having a lot of fun being
am.
a journalist?
I am. I'm having a lot of fun there. Print is still taking over news, which a lot of people don't think, but it's still a very intricate part in news right now. So.
Excellent. Jamila, you work for the city of Detroit. You have been to one convention. Where was that?
So my first convention was right after graduation in 2015, Minneapolis. It was probably the most rewarding convention I've ever been to.
Why was that?
I was a little nervous at first because, you know, right after college, you're trying to find a job. So my mentor, Alicia Nails, who was Educator of the Year this year,
Yes.
said, you know, it's time to stop playing.
Great
Go to-
professor.
Great professor. She said, it's time to stop playing. You have to go to a convention and get a job.
And I
So-
can hear her saying that too.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So used all the money I had for my open house that year and spent it to go to Minneapolis for the career fair. And when I tell you there is nothing like it, you have, you know, executives from the top, you know, newspapers and TV news, things like that there
Right.
that are
Major
giving you
corporation.
advice.
I'd be remiss to say that.
Oh, yeah, major
the
corporations.
company that owns Channel 7, Channel 20, the EW Scripps company, they will be there recruiting along with
CNN is
all
gonna
of the
be
other
there.
networks and all of the major broadcast entities, print, digital. It's going to be a sea of recruiters there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Especially there's going to be an NBC Universal. They usually have a training session, which is good for if you're interested in print or broadcast, or not even interested in traditional journalism, especially digital media. You know, this year's convention is surrounded by technology and how that has changed the field of journalism. So people think it's about writing or being on TV, but there are so many other jobs in the field of media.
Meeting people you never met before, making those contacts, that's going to be crucial, don't you think?
Absolutely. The reason why I have my job right now is because of NABJ. I joined right after I graduated, and then once I became a part of their Facebook group, they posted my job that I currently have, and I was able to get it because of that. So NABJ is an intricate part of my life.
All right, final question. If there are young people who are watching this and saying, hey, how do I get involved with this, whether it's just through the volunteer or registering, what should they do?
You can definitely register. Registration is still open and available. You can get to that at nabjconvention.com. We're definitely looking for volunteers. That information is on our chapter website at detroitnabj.org. And there's just going to be a lot of stuff, even if it's not convention-based, that, you know, we have college students coming in. We have millennials like Bria and I, working professionals, who are going to be around. So if you're in the downtown area, come find us. We're hanging out. We have lots of parties going on that weekend.
So I believe that people, they have this negative connotation about Detroit, but I feel that once they come here and they actually see our city for themselves, they'll be writing differently about it.
All right, Bria Brown,
Yes.
Jamila Jackson, thank you so much for coming in. Best of luck at the convention, and
Thank
best
you.
of luck with your professional careers.
Thank you.
And I'm Chuck Stokes. We'll be back next week with more newsmakers in the spotlight. We hope you have a great week.